On the night of July 6, 2015, in the small town of Brookhaven, Mississippi, 43-year-old Bridget Hall was at home with her children. It was a quiet summer night until a knock at the door shattered everything. Moments later, Bridget was dead, shot in her own home. Her killer vanished into the darkness, and a decade later, her murder remains unsolved. Bridget Hall's final moments were terrifying and brief. According to reports, she was spending time with her children that evening, and around 11:48 p.m., someone knocked on her door. When she answered, she was shot and killed. There was no forced entry and no robbery, just a single targeted act of violence. The Brookhaven Police Department responded to the scene, but the shooter was gone. No weapon was recovered, no arrests were made, and no one has ever been charged with her murder. Bridget Hall was born on January 1st, 1972. She was a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend. Her life was rooted in family and faith. She worked hard, raised her children, and lived quietly in her Brookhaven home. She had no known enemies and no criminal record. Her death was not the result of a high-risk lifestyle. It was the result of someone else's decision to end her life. Her sister Sharon has become the family's voice in the years since Bridget's death. In interviews, she described the pain of not knowing, of waking up every day with the same unanswered questions. Bridget's case is still open. The Brookhaven Police Department urges anyone with information to come forward. Even the smallest detail, a name, a rumor, a memory, could be the key to solving this case. The night before Thanksgiving, the streets of Holiday, Florida were quiet. Inside a modest home on Rosedale Lane, 23-year-old Quantrell Keller was winding down, maybe texting a friend or thinking about the holiday ahead. But at 10:50 p.m., that silence was shattered. A single gunshot rang out. Moments later, Keller lay bleeding on his bedroom floor. By the time deputies arrived, the shooter was gone. No forced entry, no clear motive, just a witness description. A short, stocky Hispanic male between 20 and 25 years old, and then nothing. No arrests, no answers, just a family left to piece together a nightmare that began with a knock, a flash, and a silence that still hasn't broken. Quantrell Keller was shot inside his own home on November 26, 2013. The call came from his roommate. The scene was chaotic but eerily contained. No signs of struggle and no evidence of forced entry. Whoever pulled the trigger knew how to vanish. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office responded quickly, but the trail went cold just as fast. The suspect description was vague. The motive was a mystery, and the weapon was never recovered. Quantrell wasn't a headline. He was a son, a brother, and a young man with plans. He grew up on the outskirts of Tampa with his sisters, Lakia and Latanya. Lakia, 5 years older, remembers teaching him to ride a bike and reading to him at night. "I felt like I was his protector growing up," she said. "He was kind-hearted, ambitious, this kind of person who made you feel seen." His death wasn't just tragic, it was senseless. and the void he left behind is still felt in every room he once walked through. Despite the witness description, the case remains unsolved. No forensic breakthroughs, no confessions, just silence. Quantrell Keller's case is still open. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office urges anyone with information to come forward. In the early hours of September 22, 2009, the streets of Jacksonville, Florida were quiet. But inside a white sedan parked near CK Liquors at Beaver and Murder, tragedy had just struck. Tammy Platt, age 27, lay fatally wounded, shot while riding in a car driven by a friend. Her death was sudden, violent, and remains unsolved to this day. Police were called around 3 a.m. to the intersection of West Beaver Street and North Myrtle Avenue. The driver of the car, who was not considered a suspect, told officers the shooting happened off Myrtle Street. The details were murky. Was Tammy shot from outside the car? Was the vehicle targeted? Or was this a random act of violence? Shortly after the murder, authorities arrested a man found in possession of the gun that was used to kill Tammy. He was charged in a separate crime, but not in Tammy's death. The evidence, they said, wasn't enough. No eyewitnesses, no confession, just a weapon and a void where justice should be. Tammy's death wasn't the first tragedy to strike her family. 6 years earlier, her brother was also murdered. That case saw an arrest. Tammy's did not. Her family, already familiar with the pain of loss, now faced the agony of unanswered questions. Tammy Lynn Platt was more than a victim. She was a daughter, a sister, and a friend. She had dreams, relationships, and a life that mattered. Her story deserves to be told, not just as a statistic, but as a human being whose life was cut short. Tammy's story is about heartbreak. It's about resilience, and it's about the fight for justice that continues long after the headlines fade. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office still considers Tammy's case active. If you have any information, no matter how small, please contact the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.